I pray you find a reason to hold on, even one thing that can make you smile is a prayer answered, this I know. For each day is lifted all by grace, so I know that grace still holds you here, even all the things that hurt like hell are all part of God's good story. Oh, I thank God that you're in my life. You bring just the right amount of sad and loving words. Oh, I couldn't find a friend just like you, 'cause you're wonderfully made as the only you.
Ew. Disgusting. So now that we're settled in and I managed to get my socks and my pants wet even before we started, I thought I would just introduce you to my happy place. Welcome to the farm, welcome to the stream. This is the place that I come to on the weekends when I'm not working or I'm not sleeping in too late. And every time I come here, I feel so much better when I leave. I think all of us have those places that bring us joy and take us away from our lives. The farm, this stream, is one of those places for me. Another one of those places for me is the dance floor. Today, I just wanted to share with you guys some things I've been going through. I don't really give very prompt, updated snippets into my life on the regular. And that's because, you know, things happen so quickly in life that sometimes I don't get the opportunity to really document how I feel in the moment. But I thought today I would take the time to do that. This week is one of those weeks where I feel more stressed and confused and guilty and frustrated and all the negative emotions than others. I think we all always have a mix of negative and positive emotions. I'm very lucky that most of my emotions tend to be skewed to the positive, but this week I noticed that I've been more in the negative side. And even though I worked this morning, it's Saturday by the way, even though I worked this morning and I will go home after this to work some more on this afternoon, I knew I had to come to the farm today because I had to take a step back and center myself again. It feels like one of those weeks where tiny things that wouldn't ordinarily affect me, and that's because like so many things have been piling up that all of them combined causes all the feelings of frustration and stress to bubble over the surface. It's a particularly intense period at work these past 2 weeks, and these next one and a half, 2 weeks will be very stressful. I have been working until 9, 10, 11, 12, sometimes even 1 these past like a few days this week. It's strange because it's also coupled by the feelings of guilt. It's because I know that there are other people who are working even harder than me. When I'm online at 12, 1 a.m. And I log off, the next morning I see someone's email that they sent at 3 a.m. and I feel guilty for not being able to support them better, which is ironic, right? Because I know in my logical mind that this is not how I should be feeling. And it doesn't help that about 2 weeks ago an old back injury came back, and that made it very difficult for me for the past 1.5 weeks to leave the house, really, you know, dance, which is another one of the things that really helps me de-stress. I couldn't come to the farm last week because of my back, and that, you know, losing the opportunity to go out, losing the things that would otherwise bring me joy outside of work, made my whole life about work and made me very miserable these past 2 weeks. I think I've come to realize that I'm someone who really needs balance. I can't have my whole life be about one thing, not just work, but also can't have my whole life be about dance, can't have my whole life be about relaxation. I really need to be engaged in multiple different ways in my life, and when I don't have that, I do feel like there's something missing. Another really strong emotion that I felt this past week has been loneliness. And this is very strange for me because I'm usually the kind of person who really enjoys my own company. I really have no problems being on my own most of the time. But this week, I have no idea why, but I felt loneliness the way I haven't felt it in a really long time. I had this shocking realization, which I already knew before, but it really only hit me this week, that I really only have like 2 or 3 friends that I see on the regular or semi-regular basis in Singapore, and all my other good friends are abroad. I, for the longest time, have been relying on dance as, when you're dancing, you're always interacting with someone, right? You're always in some form of social interaction, even if it isn't a deep one, even if you're not having conversation, you're dancing with someone, you're creating a moment with someone. I do partner dance, by the way, which is why I say that it's a very social activity. So when I couldn't have danced anymore these past 2 weeks, it made me realize, oh my God, I've been using dance as kind of a band-aid for an otherwise lackluster social life, right? Yeah, the long walks that I would take in the night that would ordinarily bring me a lot of joy. Still brought me joy, but it also kind of made me feel even more alone. Which, as I said, is strange for me because I'm usually someone who would rather be alone than with other people. And of course, at the back of my head always is this bigger question about what I'm doing with my life, what I'm doing with my career, which is unfortunately, or I guess ordinarily, as it is typically with most people, is the biggest part of your life, right? Like work ends up being the thing that you do the most. I do feel this pressure to have it all figured out sometimes when it comes to my career. And I know it's very ironic that I say this because literally in my last video that I published very recently, I said to have patience, especially for people who are at the start of their career, including myself, to have patience in this process of figuring out work life. But it's a question that's always at the back of my mind, and I can't help thinking about it. I think it comes to the forefront even more when I'm particularly on weeks I'm particularly stressed at work. So that's the context. That's where I am this week. Those are the emotions that I carry. But I just wanted to say that I'm so glad that I came to the farm today. I am so glad that I have the tools to deal with these emotions, right? I have my journal. I know where to go to feel better. I know that my happy places are on the dance floor and are on the farm. I came this morning literally on the verge of tears. Like I was on the way here on the bus, I was journaling and I was very emotional. I was listening to sad music, so that didn't help. But I was very emotional and I was so sure that the first person I spoke to, I was going to start crying. That didn't happen. So when I was on the way down here to the stream, there was this old man, Uncle Tan, who owns a section of the farm, and I've never met him before. But he saw me bringing a chair down and he started talking to me, started telling me all about his the things that he's planting and the things that he's done recently to his section of the farm. And he brought me to pluck some passionfruit. He's so cute. Like, he kept plucking more and more, and he got me to try plucking some of them using his homemade like fruit plucker thing. And I think that's what I love about coming to the farm, like these spontaneous, unexpected interactions that are so innocent, that are so wholesome. They take me away from my stresses and my worries. They remind me that I'm a person. They remind me that there are other things to look forward to in life, like plucking passion fruit from a random tree that Uncle Tan planted over 15, 10, don't know how many years ago. What I love about this place is that you can just bring your fullest self here. You know, I'm I mean, sometimes I talk about work if people ask how I'm doing, but it's never an extended conversation. And it's usually more about being in community, being with other people, doing work with other people, enjoying food with other people. This place is going to be demolished. The government's taking back the land, and at the end of this year, this place, this stream, our farm, will be converted into a construction site for housing. And I wanted to document a moment here. I wanted to film something here before this place is gone. I don't think I come to the farm as often as I should. I feel like we have a tendency to sometimes deprioritize the things that we know are important for us. But I want to make a commitment to come here more before this place is gone. I'm just so glad to be here today. I think I really needed to be here. And for all of you who are watching, who are experiencing heaviness this week, my heart goes out to you. It's not easy feeling heavy feelings. I mean, obviously. And it's even worse if you feel lonely, if you don't feel like you can bring it anywhere, if you don't feel like you know how to release these emotions. I encourage you to try and find your own happy pills, your own happy places. Where can you go? Who can you go to lift all these emotions up to? For some people it's exercise, some people it's a religious institution. For me, it's the farm and the dance floor. Where is it for you? I'm very happy that I had the opportunity to speak to you. I mean, this is not something I normally do because I'm way too rambly. But I wanted to come to this beautiful place today and just speak from my heart. And the birds agree. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you're doing well.
I'm so glad you're
This is so precarious.
I'm so glad
I don't want to fall in again.
I'm so glad you're here.